food on my face. Hi guys, it's Emmarie, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a battle of the affordable, high-rated foundations from Amazon to hopefully help you find the foundation that is both cheap and amazing because you are enough. So March Madness has got me a little bit inspired. I don't watch basketball, but I thought it'd be fun to do it like bracket style-ish. I do not have as many foundations as you would do like on a bracket. I have 4, but I thought I would split my face in half, do 2 foundations on each side for 2 days in a row, and then whichever was the best for each day I would put on either side of my face the next day, and then we would crown a champion. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you can just keep watching, you'll get it. So first 2 foundations I have are the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup Foundation and the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wearing Luminous Foundation. So how I chose these 4 foundations was I went on to Amazon and did 4 stars and up and $10 and under. So at the time, now you gotta remember Amazon's kind of like all over the place. Ratings can go up and down quickly, and prices. So I'll be filming this like a couple weeks before it goes up, so things might change if you go and look it up. But as of right now, the LA foundation is priced at $5.39 and has 4.5 stars with almost 600 reviews. And the L'Oreal foundation is priced at $7.79, 4.5 stars with almost 800 reviews. So I'll be using the same primer for all of the foundations. The Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer. I can't say that. Perfecting Primer. It's a good, nothing super like changing to the skin. It just kind of smooths everything out. And so I'm going to be using this blending sponge. But let's start. I like how these have a pump. Come on. Okay. So we're going to start out with the L'Oreal one. So I have combination everything skin, which is I hate, but is helpful in these kind of situations where I'm trying to hopefully help as many skin types as possible. This looks kind of dark for me, but we'll see what happens. It's not awful. I have a zit on each side of my nose, so that works out really well for this test. I wish I didn't have a zit on each side of my nose, but I'm just trying to look at the bright side of things. Okay, it's definitely luminous. I can tell right now. So we'll see how well it does on my oily parts of my skin, It's a medium coverage. And I'm curious to see if it's buildable because you can still see a little bit of the redness on the zit and around my nose. I just get a little bit red around the edge. But I like how it looks so far. Looks good. Looks pretty luminous. Not like grease ball shiny though, so that's good. I like it. Okay, I want to see if it'll cover up the redness around my nose. I'm just gonna take just a little bit more. I'm not gonna try to build it up all around on my whole face, but just around those redder areas. There we go. That's a little bit better. It still didn't cover up everything, but it's definitely buildable. I don't think I'm gonna try and like see if it can build it and build it and build it. Maybe I will if it makes it to round 2, but we're just gonna leave it like that for now. And then LA Girl. I've heard so many good things about this. I'm going to use my opposite hand to apply it to the face. That one looks dark too. What's up with this? Oh my goodness. One side of my face is going to be more coverage than the other, but it's fine. It might be a different shade. I got the lightest shade, didn't I? Yeah, fair. Whew. Okay, then I'm going to use the opposite side of the blending sponge so I don't get the foundations mixed up. That is a lot darker. Oh dear. Good thing I only have people who understand me coming over today. Oh my goodness, this is just like the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation where I should say how it used to be. Way back when I tried the Conceal and Perfect Foundation by Milani, the lightest shade was way too dark. It was darker than this. Like I think if I was careful and applied this the right way, I could probably get away with wearing this shade. I'll do a comparison to show you what I mean, but this is definitely darker and there's definitely a very fine line of it. Like there's a big difference. I'm trying to like blend it down my neck so it doesn't look as weird. It's doing a really good job covering things up, that's for sure. Maybe bronzer will help even it out. I really like the coverage though. I did a good job covering everything up around my nose and it's not sticking to any dry patches, which is awesome. I'll be curious. What finish is this? Luminizing. Yeah. So everything looks good except for the color, which the color's not as bad. I'll do a comparison. Hold on. So if this happened to you with the Milani foundation and you're worried about the LA Girl one being too dark, I'll do like a little comparison. Yeah, there's the LA Girl is definitely lighter, but not by a ton. Look, now my hand is more tan. It's fine. It'll match my face. I am going to finish up my face, put on some bronzer and blush and highlight and stuff, then come back and show you how it all looks put together. Okay, I have the rest of my face on. The bronzer definitely helped balance things out. So unless you look at the lines, which you might not be able to see on camera, we'll see. You can't really tell that they're different shades. Everything looks really, really good. I'm noticing just like a tiny bit of separation on a little zit on the L'Oreal side. That can be normal sometimes just for my skin no matter what foundation I use. So we'll see if it gets any worse throughout the day. I'm gonna go throughout my day and then update you on the end of the day to tell you who the winner is for round 1. Okay. We've got some updates. So I told you before that I have combination to everything skin. I have dry patches, I have oily spots, blah blah blah. With using luminous foundations, I was expecting some oily spots, some breakup, and so whenever I run into situations like that, I can take a mattifying primer and put it on my nose area, but I wanted to just not have a luminizing or mattifying primer to see what would need to be done, if that makes sense. Okay, so everything seemed like it was going pretty well up until about 6 hours in. Now, I know that their website says this is only an 8-hour foundation, which I think is ridiculous. I don't know if I ever put on foundation and wear it for less than like 10 or 12 hours, but whatever. And so I expected it not to last quite as long, so I want to give it a chance though. But about 6 hours in, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I can tell that I have 2 different foundations on right now. Because the L'Oreal side was broken up and a lot more. It was broken up all along my nose, all on top, like basically all of my nose, in between my eyebrows. It was picking up all of the texture on my face. Like, I haven't like removed hair above my lip in a while, so you can kind of see it. It's not awful or anything, like, but it was definitely picking that up, and it just seemed to have faded a lot more than this side. This side definitely, it has broken up a little bit on my nose. Like, redness is coming through just a little bit, but not nearly as bad on the LA Girl. It's still picking up a little bit of texture through my cheek area, but most foundations do by the end of the day. But overall, it held up a lot better. It's a lot less oily, and I don't think either side picked up any dry patches. Oh wait, just a little bit on the L'Oreal side. Picked up a little bit of dry patches. So I wouldn't say the L'Oreal is an awful one. I definitely need a stronger primer with it, especially around my nose area. But I think the winner for this round is definitely the LA Girl. It just held up so much better. Okay, round 2. Okay, so for round 2, they are both stick foundations. Now keep in mind, I wasn't like, it has to be liquid, it has to be stick, it has to be powder, whatever. I just like kind of looked at them all, and it ended up being 2 stick foundations by Maybelline. And I didn't even realize it until I was checking out. I was like, oh, they're both Maybelline, cool. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me Shine Free Plus Balance Foundation. This one is the Maybelline Superstay Cream to Matte Formula Plus Blender. I don't think I'm going to be using this little like sponge thing, just because I want to use the same applicator on both sides as well as the one that I used yesterday. And let's just start with the Superstay. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't dealt with, that's creamy, I like that, a ton of stick foundations, but this one feels really nice. I have dealt with some gross ones. Coverage underneath there. Guys, I always go overboard on stick foundations, it's bad. And then gonna use the same blender as yesterday. This is the L'Oreal one. I don't remember if they have more than one. Okay, right off the bat, I can tell this is just a little bit harder to blend out than a liquid, but that can be normal sometimes, but it's always nice when it's not. I'm also gonna be honest and say that 9 out of 10, I don't know how many I've actually tried, but 9 out of 10 times I've tried Maybelline foundations, they have oxidized on me. I haven't tried either of their stick foundations. I don't know if they have more than 2. But I wanted to go by ratings and popularity versus my preference, and thinking it might oxidize on me and it might not. So we'll see what happens. This is supposed to be full coverage. It's definitely not. I mean, it's like making things very even, but it's definitely not covering up the redness around my nose. I think I'm going to try and build it up a little bit more. Okay, and then this one, oh, that one's softer. Oh, but it drags. It drags just like a little tiny bit more than the Super Stay, but it's softer. That's weird. This one's supposed to be a little bit more light coverage, and so I'm seeing if I can just like add on a little bit more. This is a little bit easier to blend out. I feel like it's doing better at covering up my acne, even though the Super Stay is supposed to be full coverage and this is supposed to be like a medium. So let me put the rest of my makeup on and I will be right back. Okay. Got the rest of the makeup on, and I did some setting spray. I used, where did it go? I can't find it right now. The L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. And after I used the setting spray, it seemed like everything kind of just like calmed down a little bit on the Super Stay side. I would say there's still a little tiny bit of sticking to dry patches, but we'll see how it looks by the end of the day. But this is what it looks like right now. I feel like at this point it could go either way. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna go about my day again. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, so my face is actually different than I thought it would be. About 3 hours in, I looked in the mirror and it was like, I could see every single dry patch that I didn't even know existed on this half of my face. This is a Super Stay half. I'm actually shinier than I thought it would be. I'm not ridiculously shiny. It just looks like I'm wearing a luminous foundation, which is not matte. Great news though, I didn't oxidize. I'm like shocked. I was expecting at least one foundation to oxidize. The side of my nose on the Stay Matte side is just a big mess. I mean, it's separated, it like stuck to the dry part of my zit, and it's like red all around it. It's lovely. The Fit Me side, I would say my only complaint is it's a little bit broken up around the nose, so the redness is starting to come through. I'm a little tiny bit shiny on my nose. Nothing horrible, but like the Stay Matte side, my skin is really textured on my cheeks. That's like where my texture, like the most texture is, and it's not really showing up at all on the Fit Me side. So I would say we have a very clear winner of this round, and Fit Me is moving on to the final round. Okay, final round. I'm so excited. So we've got the LA Girl versus the Maybelline Fit Me, and I thought I would mix it up a little bit, see what happens, and use a foundation brush instead of a blending sponge. This is the Do Care flat top brush. Okay, LA Girl on this side. Okay. It's looking good so far with the brush. I always have the hardest time getting around my eyebrows. Ooh, I really like how this is blending out with a brush. Okay, okay, this is what we got. I like the look of both. This is gonna be harder to decide. I'm gonna put the rest of my makeup on, let you know if you can still tell a difference between the two sides. Okay, rest of the makeup's on, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person, especially on my neck, even with bronzer, there's a distinct difference, and you might not notice it as much if you're not looking for it, but like I can tell. So there's that. The Fit Me is definitely true to shade name, but now that everything's on, I still really like the look of everything. I'm very curious to see what happens by the end of the day. It's gonna be tough. It's been a rough couple days. So I wanted to test out the winning foundation for a full day on its own all over my face instead of just one half with the right kind of primers and stuff to make sure I was 100% sure that I wanted this to be the winner. And in between filming day 3 and now, I've had to refilm this because the file was corrupted and this happened. It's been a rough minute. It's fine though. So this is what my face looked like at the end of day 3. Everything looked pretty good except on the Fit Me foundation. It just picked up so many more dry spots than the first time, and I don't know if it's because my skin was more dry or if it was just the air or whatever, but it seemed like it had a harder time with dry areas, which is I'm not a big fan of. So the winner is the LA Girl foundation. Pro Coverage High Definition Foundation. I'm wearing it on my face right now, and the reason I chose this one, couple of reasons, is one, even though this is darker than my skin tone, I can adjust to that, and more people than not are not going to need to worry about the shade being too dark for them, because I realize I'm a very pale girl. And I can adjust to that a lot easier. They sell a white foundation to mix in to make it your shade. Also, I can use, where is it? Sorry, the lid's broken. Essence All About Matte fixing powder, and it has kind of like a white cast to it. It's supposed to like help like blend things together so everything doesn't look so dark. I can just put that in like my T-zone area, and it'll help mattify things because that's where I get oily, and it'll also lighten things up and kind of balance things up between the bronzer and that. I'm using a mattifying primer in the areas I get oily. I just think this is a better all foundation, where the Fit Me one, I have a harder time fixing the dry areas, and it's not as full coverage. Those things are harder to fix rather than the LA Girl problems. So if you want to check out my last makeup review, you can click right here. If you want to check out my last hair product review, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. I love you guys so much, and don't ever forget that you are enough. Bye!